Hello, uh, this is Dave Mudlia. I'm the global CIO for Teleperformance. I'm joined here with our partner, Citrix. And Tim, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Dev, and thanks for having me. I'm Tim Minahan, the Executive Vice President of Strategy and the Chief Marketing Officer here at Citrix, the world's leading provider of digital workspace solutions.
And I'd like to welcome everybody who has took the time out of a busy day to listen to this lively discussion between Teleperformance and Citrix and what both the companies have done, I would say seriously over the last 12 to 14 months. And we could have never imagined we'll be living in this kind of setup and environment. So we'll just discuss briefly about our learnings, what's the new way of the work environment and how that is going to play and what's going to be our future in the near short term and long term kind of thing. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start. Teleperformance has been the largest BPO in our industry, as you know. We have close to 383,000 employees. And over the last year, we just completed into a new environment. We call it work from home. And we have now close to more than 220 and 30 odd thousand people working from home successfully and delivering to our clients and promises. So that's the new world we are living in. Tim, how about you? How is Citrix doing?
Yeah, certainly, Dev. It has been the future of work at hyperspeed over the past 15 months as we've, all rotated to this unplanned global work from home experiment. But I will say, if there's one iota of a silver lining in all of this, it's really caused organizations, especially organizations like Teleperformance that are forward-looking, to really begin to rethink their workforce strategies, their work models, and really around three areas: where work gets done. Is it in the office? Is it at home, or more likely, is it a hybrid type environment? Who does the work? Right? Is it just full-time employees, or are we blending with contractors and BPOs like yourself to be able to scale up and have agility and shift work around the globe? And then how work gets done, right? I think the pandemic has exposed the complexity we put into our employees' work environments. And really, smart companies like Teleperformance are looking at, gee, how do I enable this distributed work environment? How do I make it more efficient for my employees to collaborate and get work done?
That's good. And I think what we learned over the years, as you know, we were trying to get into the work from home space over the last 5, 6 years. Before the pandemic, we were sub 10 to 15,000 employees working from home. And I think no way we can imagine the project moving to 200,000 plus employees working within 60 days within our environment. So it has been a phenomenal change. And with the change, we learned quite a new ways of doing things. That's where Teleperformance launched the TP Cloud Campus, what we call it, work from anywhere where the best talent is available. And we really concentrated on two big aspects, the high tech and the high touch kind of thing. On the high tech is where we collaborated with companies like Citrix, where we basically went ahead and see like what's the best secure, safe way to deploy technologies. And the high touch is a new world. It's a Zoom, it's a video, it's people interacting remotely but effectively. And what we've seen is the people proximity and how we can bring that socio-economic or social life component of our workforce into the environment. That's where the high touch and the TP Cloud Campus has really make us take the leap forward to make it better for us. Tim, like what did Citrix do on that?
Yeah, Dev, I think your story, is so telling. This, remote work experiment we've all gone through has really eliminated a lot of the biases that, maybe managers and even employees tended to used to have, that work can only get done in the office. I love how you say you've gone from having 400 sites that you need to deliver technology to and support employees at, to 230,000 sites as employees are moving home. And we at Citrix, ultimately went through the same thing, by providing, and using our own digital workspace technologies, ensuring that employees, no matter where they were working, not only had unified access and reliable access to all the work resources they needed, but that, to your point, that it was being delivered in a way that's incredibly secure, so that the IT organization and the organization at large had the confidence that their information and applications remain secure. And then the last part, what's exciting about this is when you unify those applications, you allow employees to work wherever they want, you allow them to have access across any device. You can then apply things like workflows and micro apps to ensure that they have the most efficient way to execute work. And to your point, stay engaged with their other employees, be able to work in a team environment, even if they're 1,000 miles away from each other.
Yeah, and that brings up to some of the things that we have done on the high-tech side. Like we said, we went from 400 sites to, frankly, 200,000 plus sites. And that's where we started basically looking for ways to monitor and manage each one of them individually. What's their internet speed? What's the download and upload speed? Do we get the better quality? And we have done some internal application development where we are monitoring the agent ISP, so we can help our staff and our clients to provide the best optimal experience. Mm-hmm. And this is where I think our partnership with Citrix also makes sense is in the third world countries or the location where ISP is really a premium and it's very difficult to get a good quality ISP. Citrix is where the bandwidth optimization comes into play. You basically do everything in the data center and have a very small footprint running on our employees. So that makes it a better user experience and a safe one, because you don't run and deploy anything locally to our employees' desktop or workstation. They are all running from a data center and those kind of things. So that's really where the combination of technology, the new world of living in, and where we overcome the challenges with deploying it to 200,000 places, where some places like in the US or maybe in the Europe, you get a good solid bandwidth and consistent reliability, compared to some places where you really struggle to get the best bandwidth. So that's really something we have done, which really brings back to my next question, Tim, is like, we are also trying to go to the next stage. Like, okay, we got now Citrix and optimized bandwidth. What else can we do? Can you explain a little bit about intelligent routing?
Yeah, absolutely. There's really kind of three kind of things that innovations that we're bringing to bear, and I know Teleperformance is taking advantage of. The first is certainly Citrix performance analytics, going down to the individual user and allowing you to detect that user is having a different experience, allowing you to be your team to be proactive in resolving that before the user even knows they have a problem, which is absolutely key for your employees. Now that you're moving them, close to the end customer, you need to deliver applications and information so that they can service that customer. You got to make sure that you always have great uptime. That brings us to the second part that you mentioned, which is the intelligent traffic management, or ITM as we call it, which the best way to view it is sort of a Waze for the internet. It knows where the employee is, what resources they need to access, where those resources are, and then looks at the traffic patterns on the internet and says, we're going to route you this way to make sure you have the shortest distance between you and that application, so you have hyper quick response times. And then the last part is really where we bring the workspace to bear, which is applying streamlined workflows or collaborative work management tools on top of that, so that your employees not only have reliable access to the resources they need, but literally their work environment can guide them to the next right step.
Yep, thank you, Tim. And I think this is where it also lines up with our Cloud First initiative. As part of the VDI, we talked about Cloud First. And really on the Cloud First, as you know, that the application can be hosted in a multiple different geography and data center. So if our employee has to go to an application they can reach to the nearest cloud-hosted data center kind of thing. They don't need to come back all the way to the US or France or India. They can really go to the nearest proximity thing. To at the end of the day, all the technology, whether we are doing high tech and high touch, is really for our employees to provide the best possible platform to support our clients and customers. That's the end goal we are all striving for. So whatever we can do, whether it's a technology, whether it's a collaboration tool, whether it's the optimization, they all go towards the same goal of making our employees successful and make it easier for them to support our clients.
Yeah, and I think, Dev, and just in closing, your combination of high tech and high touch is not only ensuring employee experience for all 230,000 of the Teleperformance employees, but you're helping to advance the future of work for your customers, because you're a part of the solution where they can begin to work shift and dial up, whether it's seasonal need for additional resources, or whether it's unfortunately a crisis where they need to shift work from one point of the world to the other. Teleperformance is part of that solution.
Yep, completely agreed, Tim. And I think, as you know, we had a lot of topics that we can cover. Maybe we can pick it up on the next one. The one thing I will leave the thought is, what we have seen is technology has become more dominant in this new world now than it was ever before. Because every single piece of our interaction is now more dependent on technology, whether it's the collaboration, whether it's the agent experience, whether it's the optimization. So I expect the next 12 months to be even more volatile in a good way, to really bring some of the best technologies that Teleperformance, Citrix, and some of the other big companies are going to bring it in. And we can re-look at it in 12 months from now, is how is our world going to look like.
Well, I look forward to it. It's great to be on this journey together with you and the whole Teleperformance team.
Perfect. Thank you, Tim. I really want to thank each and every one of you who have joined and listened to this. Like I said, this is a changing world. The more things to come, and we'll keep you updated about how Teleperformance, in their partnership with Citrix and other major players, is trying to keep ahead of the curve and keep marching forward. Thank you.